Wayne Heim was my homeroom teacher in ninth grade. He was also the junior high wrestling coach. My family loved wrestling. My mom was quite the supporter of the high school team, and so we went to matches all the time and the championships. It was a great experience for me. And so I thought, man, I want to be a wrestler too. In seventh grade, I thought I'm going to go out for the wrestling team, see what happens. And I wasn't very athletic. I was more the intellectual music type of guy. But I thought, I want to be a wrestler. I think at that point I was trying to, I wanted to be in that crowd, the athletic crowd. So I went out, lasted one day. It was hard. I can't believe how hard it was. I had never done anything like that in my life. So I lasted one day and I told my mom, I'm done. Nope, I can't do this. I quit. Well, 2 years pass and I'm thinking, I got to try this again. This will be really good for me. If I can master this, it'll help me get in shape. I'll be able to associate with some of the kids that I want to associate with more easily. So I'll try it again. Ninth grade. So Wayne Heim is the coach, and he's quite a good wrestler. One day, lots of running upstairs, running in long distances, push-ups, straight. Oh my goodness. No, I thought, no, I can't do this. No way. So one more day, and I told my mom, I said, I can't do this. This is not going to work. Well, she says, okay, you can't quit though until you talk to your coach. You have to talk to Mr. Heim. So after homeroom, the next morning, I talked to Mr. Heim, and he says, I want to make a deal with you. You can quit after a week, but I want you to give it a week. Give it a try. One of the things I didn't realize that my mom had talked to Mr. Heim behind the scenes the night before, and they had agreed that they were going to try to find a way to help me get through this and make this achievement. Well, so I set out, and he was very encouraging to me through the whole process. Just, come on, you can do it, Ed. Keep going. Amazing thing happened. I made it. I made it through a whole week of wrestling training. And wrestling training in the first week is mostly about training, not wrestling. It's mostly about running and getting in shape and doing push-ups and learning a few other skills you need as a wrestler. But I am, to this day, I remember Coach Heim, and that whole year was a great year. He encouraged me. Mostly that's what he did. He encouraged me to keep on, to try. Maybe you can think back, or maybe even right now, you've got someone who's a coach like that in your life, and you just are so thankful for that person. That person cared about you, that person instructed you, that person pushed you, that person taught you a lot of things, demonstrated things, had confidence and faith in you. Invaluable. This was a long time ago. We're talking 50 years ago, almost 50 years ago. I still remember it like it was yesterday. A caring, loving, knowledgeable, experienced coach probably has made a difference in your life. I want you to think about that for a minute. Just stop right now, pause the video, think about who that person is in your life, and think about what are the qualities in that person that you admire. What helps you remember them? What do you remember? What stands out? Ponder that, and you're going to share that. You're going to share that with your coach next time you get together. Tell that story, and your coach will tell you a story as well from their life. It's so important. What do coaches do for us? They do a lot of things for us, but the best coaches are experienced. They share their experience. They share their life experience, not just the skills of the sport or whatever. They share their life experience. They also care. They care about us. They care about what happens to us. They want to help us develop. They know there's a need to push sometimes, pull sometimes, back off sometimes, listen sometimes. Let us take the reins and lead, and then give us feedback. It's a great thing. Recently, I went skydiving and some lessons about coaching. I had a a coach. We're doing tandem skydiving, and I'm attached to my coach or trainer. And you're going to get to see some glimpses of my skydiving and some of the lessons that I learned. So let's go jump into that right now. People are asking me, what did it feel like when you were coming down to earth, when you're flying, when you're soaring? There's just no words. There's no words to describe it. It is such a rush. It's noisy. You're trying to balance yourself. You got this other guy on your back, and you got the cameraman in front of you, and he's trying to film you and get you to smile. It's unbelievable. Nothing like it. When you're dealing with things in life that you've never dealt with before, again, having someone you can trust can be a guide, a coach, a wise person that you can trust is so important. All of a sudden, silence. The chute opens, big jerk, but then quiet. Gorgeous day, looking out for miles. It's so beautiful. My trainer, Pete, says, "Hey Ed, why don't you take the handles and steer us?" So he let me steer, gave me a few instructions, and helped me steer the chute around. That was so much fun. Not hard to do, but having him trust me enough to guide us, he could grab it and right there, and there's a backup set of handles too. He can always take over for me. What a fun thing for it to be trusted to actually guide the plane, guide the chute myself. That was so much fun. It's another part of leadership and coaching is to help somebody else take leadership, do things with guidance and advice and support. What a great thing. If you've never gone skydiving, I recommend it. It is a rush. Now, I know not everybody's going to want to do it, but it's a great thing. It's a great thing to do. Whether you skydive or not, there are times when you're just like me and you got that look on your face because you're about ready to dive into something difficult. Jump out of a plane, just dealing with the challenges of life, especially as for adolescents, that there's a lot of difficult things. We've already talked about that. It's like climbing that mountain, those mountains, climbing those mountains. We want to get to the top. We want to get to a place where we're making an impact, where we're out of some of the challenges of adolescence. But it means there's a lot of climbing to be done. And we've talked about 3 pathways for you to travel on with a guide that can help you navigate effectively. So a guide is really important. A coach or a guide is really important. Now, I know some of you are thinking, so I'm just a kid. Why do I need a coach? Why do I need a coach? Well, so adolescence is challenging, as we said. And, our parents are part of the coaching of our lives. But, as you're growing, you need to establish your identity separate from your parents to some degree, because you're trying to find your place in the wider world, the wider community, the tribe at large. And in order to do that, you need advice and input from your friends and from more seasoned, wise folks. Dr. Kara Powell from the Fuller Youth Institute says that every young person needs 5 mentors or coaches, people who can give input, advice, care, share their wisdom with a young person, because adolescence is such a challenging time. And as an adolescent, we just don't always receive the input from our parents maybe that well. We need to receive it from other people, coaches, teachers, key people, mentors in our lives. If you don't have at least one coach in your life, you're missing out. Even if you seem to be doing well, you don't know what's around the corner. Could be something coming around the corner. Let's go to the world of sports for a minute. We could go into acting, we could go into singing, we could go into lots of different areas, but let's think about athletes, some of the best athletes in the world. I'm a baseball guy, so I go to baseball easily. And one of my favorite guys is New Jersey's own Mike Trout, one of the best ball players in the world right now, and especially one of the best hitters. Pitchers hate to go up against Mike Trout because he can hit everything. He doesn't always hit everything, of course, but he can hit every kind of pitch. So pitchers don't really know how to pitch him. So he's the best. Now, why does Mike Trout need a coach? Mike Trout doesn't have just one coach, but Mike Trout has multiple coaches helping him with different aspects of his game, his conditioning, his health and wellness. He's got fielding coaches. He's got hitting coaches. Why would the best hitter in the world need a hitting coach? Ponder that for just a moment. Why? Can you come up with any ideas? I'll give you a few. Why don't you stop this video a minute? Just stop and give that some thought. If you have your journal handy, write some things down in your journal. Why does somebody who's the best at what they do still need a coach? Why? I hope you paused. I hope you wrote some things down. You're going to want to discuss this with your coach as well. And you'll come up with a number of ideas. Here's just a couple. One of the reasons why a hitting coach is important for even a great hitter is that everybody falls into slumps and develops some small bad habits and goes through tough times. And a coach can often spot something that's happening in the swing that's not easily observed or on your own. You need somebody else's eyes on the situation. Sometimes we actually in life have blind spots, things we just don't see very well. Somebody else can see them. A coach, a mentor can see something that we don't see and can help us deal with that. Another reason that a ball player like Mike Trout needs a coach is because he isn't satisfied with just being where he's at. Even though he's at a great point, he wants to be better. And so a coach can help him figure out how to be the very best that he can be. I hope that's how you look at life too. You don't just want to survive, but you want to thrive. You want to get to the top of that mountain and then over it and up the next mountain. And you want to make a difference in the world. You want to make an impact. One of the things that I believe about this young generation, your generation now, is that you guys want to make an impact. You want to change the world, and the world needs a lot of changing. And that's an awesome thing. To get there, though, you're going to have to climb that mountain. And I hope you see the value in working hard, developing your strengths, developing good connections, developing your character so that you can be the best that you can be. One of the best ways to do that is by having a coach who can direct and guide you on those three pathways and help you be the best that you can be. I'm hoping that you will be the best that you can be. This is the last segment of this series that we're doing this year. We'll have more stuff down the road. But one of the things that I want you to do is I want you to keep on working on your character plan. I want you to keep on doing meaningful talk. And I want you to continue to research your strengths. I encourage you to do it. There's a new series of talks, so combining meaningful talk and strengths, called 34 Talks. Looks at all 34 of the Clifton strengths and helps you and someone else, you and a parent, you and a friend, you and your coach, talk together about those strengths. The best thing you could possibly do is talk with another person about your strength and get to know each other. It will build your relationship with them too. So I encourage you to do that. Continue to journal as well. How are you making out? And touch base with your coach every once in a while. Everybody needs a coach. You need a coach. Whether you're 12, 14, 16, or maybe you're older, you need a coach. I'd say the same thing if I was talking to adults. You need a coach. Not because you're weak, not because you're sick, not because you're struggling. You may be dealing with all those things, but you need a coach so that you can be the best you possible, so that you can make an impact on the world You can change the world. I know you can. Go for it.